Hello, I'm Becky. I am your local cycling lover. I am here today to give you a few stretches to do after you've been out cycling. Now, as a physiotherapist and a personal trainer and a strength and conditioning coach, I see this all the time. Now, we sit at our desks all day. We're crouched forwards, we are sat with our knees up in front of us, and we are sat with our knees like this and forwards at the desk. Then we go out bike riding and we're doing exactly the same position again. So my one thing to say to all of you is we want to try and extend. So try to open up our chests, open up our hips, because they are the things that get absolutely battered when we are cycling. All of those things on the front that get tight can lead to tightness in our lower back, hamstrings on the back at the top of our legs. All of those structures get really, really tight. So imagine you've just got back from your bike ride. I would like you to just stand up tall, roll those shoulders back, make some big circles with those hands. Really try and open up your chest. Just to start off with. Now then, big reach up all the way around to the side, and then bring your hands down, looking towards the floor, and you're trying to stick your bottom up and backwards as you do this. So you're trying to really lengthen in the back of your legs. Touch the floor if you can, but it doesn't matter if you can't. Restack your vertebrae as you come back up to standing. Go through that 5 times. Walking down, touch the floor. Bring your hands back up. Chin to chest, then chin and head up. Down again. Sticking your bottom up. Walking yourself back up. Should be starting to loosen the legs just a little bit. Now, the other thing that I said we need to work on is these hips. So a really nice starter stretch while you're still in standing is to try and bring one foot across to the opposite knee. Your knee will then go out to the side and you're going to sit back and down. Catch that foot with your hand if you want. You'll notice I'm holding on to the wall, that's fine. But try and keep head up and chest open, so don't just fold forward. Head up, chest open. You're sending your bum back, you're bringing your knee to the side, and it will really help all of the structures around the outside of your hip as you sit down lower into it. And then you can swap legs over to the other side. Hopefully you're following along with me. If you want to pause the video, hold for about 20 seconds or so. Really nice. Good job. The next one, again, another hip opener that sort of gets forgotten about really, is a sideways lunge. So, just taking a step to the side, sending your bum back, and this leg that is extended, you're getting a nice stretch on the inside of the top of this leg. Stand up, transfer weight over to the other side, pause the video if you want, and you can go back the other way, go through it a couple of times. Now, you've worked a little bit around hip, a little bit side to side. Let's come down and onto the mat. So walk your hands down your legs and out in front of you and keep your bottom quite high. So I'm sending my bum back, then I'm walking myself flat and bringing my knees down, okay? So even as you come down and onto the floor, you get that lovely little stretch in the back of your legs. And you can stay in that position with your bum quite high for a few seconds if you want to, okay? Now, we're on our knees. I want you to bring one foot forwards just so that your foot is underneath your knee and you've got a 90-degree angle at that front knee. Lean into it. you should feel this stretch on the leg that is behind you at this hip flexor here. Bring your hand up and lean away from that hip. If you can't feel it, you're probably folded forwards too much. So bring your hand back a little bit. Keep this torso upright. Now then from there, bring your hand down and next to that front foot. And then go for a twist. Looking towards the ceiling, but trying to see if you can bring these hips down and into that space you've created. From here, you can then roll your knee to the side and roll your foot onto the outside of the foot. And if you want to, bring your hands forwards and lean into that even more. Try and see if you can bring this knee really far out to the side. When you feel like you've done that stretch, walk your hands back a little bit. Bring that knee back into the centre. Then back up and into that more upright position. Straighten that leg out behind you and then send your bottom back so that you get a stretch down the back of this outstretched leg now. And you can see my foot, my toe has come up towards me. I can rotate this leg in and out if I wish to get a little stretch on the inside of that leg. Back into a little lunge and then bring your knee back and we go through the other side. So we have that knee forwards into a lunge position. We're stretching the other hip flexor here, opening up that hip. Hand comes up, lean away from the side that you're stretching. Remember, hand towards the ceiling rather than forwards. Then when you're ready, bring that hand down next to the front foot, twist, looking up towards the ceiling, hold, bring those hips down towards the mat. Rotate your foot and your knee so your knee comes out to the side. Walk your hands forwards a little bit. Really nice hip opener. Really, really good. When you feel that stretch is enough for you, walk your hands back just a touch. Bring yourself back up to upright. Then sit that bottom back. Straighten that leg out in front. Remember, we can play around with foot position, keeping those toes towards us, rotating that foot out to the side. Brilliant, lovely. Then bring those knees back together. You can do all of those again if you want to, just to really, really loosen everything up. One thing I do want you to think about though is trying to open up this chest and this lower back. So the best back mobility exercise that I really enjoy is the cat-cow movement. So we are down on all fours and we rotate our bottom up and down and we arch our back all the way through its range of movement. We can then sit back on our heels, hands out in front, settle ourselves back down and onto our heels. From there, you can walk your hands either side. You'll feel the stretch down the opposite side of your lower back into centre and over to the other side. All the while trying to keep your heels and your bum touching before coming back into the centre. Then from there, because we're coming down and onto the mat, sit down and swing your legs around. Bring one foot up and over the other. Hug that knee. You'll feel the stretch down the outside of your leg and maybe into your bum muscles. Twist and look over your shoulder. Before looking back to the front and swap those legs over. Hug your knee, twist, look behind you. Fantastic. Final one, I promise. Bring the soles of your feet together, sitting up nice and tall. And then if you want to, just place some weight down onto your knees to try and have that butterfly effect, bring your knees towards the floor. This will stretch the insides of the tops of your legs. If you want to lean forwards a little bit, that's okay, but just don't rotate and sort of really close up your shoulders. Try and keep them open, leaning forwards and into it. Good. And as a final little loosener for everything up the top, bring your hands up, cross your hands over, squeeze your shoulder blades up towards your ears, then relax and bring them down. Then again, squeeze them up, then down, then squeeze them up. And that's the last one, so you're going to stretch up towards the ceiling, bring your hands down, relax those shoulders so they come down and aim to stretch forwards towards your feet. Then sit up tall if you want to go through the same one again. So squeezing those shoulder blades up and down, and then an arm round and a reach. And hopefully, between all of those stretches, you've really loosened off your body. Just takes a few minutes. Pick the ones that you think are the hardest, because they're usually the ones that you have to do because they're the areas that are a little bit tight. My other tip would be, if you are getting an area of the body that's getting very tight all of the time, is that an area of the body that you maybe need to strengthen? Because muscles get tight when they are fatigued. Now, if they are not strong enough, they fatigue earlier than other muscles. So that's my other thought if somebody comes to me with lots and lots of tight muscles that they can't seem to stretch out. Do you need some strengthening work? And maybe a massage every so often. But it will definitely depend on what you're doing with your training. Anyway, I'll see you on my other videos. So thank you very much for tuning in. Bye.